Hey, it's your coach, Laurie McNaughton, coming to you again with another short video to help you maximize the potential in your company and/or organization. And the subject I want to cover today is conflict in the workplace, because we have people that avoid conflict at every instant. And in a lot of times, leadership even avoids conflict as much as they possibly can. And I'm here to make an argument that conflict in the workplace is a good thing. Now, I can hear some of you saying right now, I'll just wait and see what you mean by that. So here's the thing about conflict in the workplace. Think about it from the perspective of you have a challenge that's going on in your company. Whether it's something in the way things are manufactured or the way the work flows, or to do with, how do you build the best possible relationships with clients? How do you best market your company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you have a willingness in your team to not avoid conflict. Now, here's the thing. To make sure that conflict doesn't turn into what you don't want it to be, and I'll get to that in a second, is you want to pre-frame the conversation. So you say, listen, guys, here is what we're going to work on to solve today. And I realize that, people have different ideas on how we can do this, but we're here to come up with the best idea. So that means that if we argue about it and it leads to a better solution, then that's a good thing for our organization, and it's good for everybody. Now, that's called good conflict. And if there's a story that I read a while back about Orville and Wilbur Wright, who apparently used to argue all the time, and look what they accomplished. Where it goes off the rails is when it becomes personal, and or somebody who's vested in this solving this situation has the needs or has the desire to be right, or they want to push their own personal agenda, and they're going to do this at whatever cost that is. And then it becomes personal. So, the temperature rises and people get to the point where they're sort of gone past that. Let's solve this problem to, calling each other names at worst. And at best, maybe just shutting it down and taking a breather, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So you think about it from the perspective of pre-frame it and say, listen, whether it's one-on-one or whether there's a group of people, and you just say, listen, we're here to solve this issue no matter what it takes. And if we have to argue about it to get to the best solution, then we're all in favor of that. Nobody's feelings should be hurt by being challenged by this. You have to do all this up front in order to make it not become what you don't want it to become. You don't want to push people, back them into a corner, make them feel like their opinion or whatever doesn't matter and or isn't valid. You don't want people going into survival. That's your fight, flight, or freeze, because nobody's working at their best. I've talked about this in past videos. Nobody's working at their best when they're in survival. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So the best way to do that is, as I said, pre-frame the conversation and just say, listen, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's work together. Again, if there's one person in that room, and this is also something that you need to pre-frame, is like, listen, you may think you have the best solution, but so does George over here thinks that they have the best solution. And so we're going to work together to come up with the best solution. And then me being the CEO, me being the president, me being the owner of the company, when it all boils down to, somebody has to make the final decision, and that's going to be me. And what I need at that point is that support to see this through to the end. Has anybody ever made a business decision and made a mistake and it didn't turn out the way they wanted it to? Absolutely. And so, but somebody has to accept the responsibility to make that final decision. And me being the owner of the company, the CEO, the president, whatever, I'm going to make the final decision. And what I need from you is just your support to see it through to the end, to give it its best chance to succeed. And if it doesn't succeed, hey, we'll be regrouping again, and we'll be going over some of the ideas again and starting all over. Business is, there's no direct line to success. There's no direct line to finding solutions to problems. Sometimes it's a bumpy road. Sometimes it's up and down. Sometimes you're going sideways. The point being is that when you work together as a team, and I'm going to say this again, you've heard me say this in other videos, together everyone achieves more. If you, being the owner, CEO, president, and or somebody else on the team who likes to sort of usurp everybody else and just has this strong need or desire to be right, we need to pre-frame that. We need to talk to those people. We need to get them on our get them into the right frame of mind. Otherwise, it can become problematic, and then you end up with no solution. You end up with having a meeting that leads to nowhere. So conflict in the workplace is good, managed correctly, pre-framed at the start of the conversation. If it ever boils or gets to that point where it's getting personal, just stop the meeting right then and right there. People have been activated at this point. They need to take a breather. They need to take a couple of deep breaths and calm down and come back to the conversation and say, yep, sorry, I got myself a little activated there, but I'm here to help solve the problem. So conflict in the workplace can be a good thing. For anybody who wants more information on how working with a coach such as myself can help your organization reach new levels, new heights, go to lauriemcnaughton.com. Right on the front page, just scroll down to the bottom. There's a little link there. You can book a 15-minute discovery meeting into my calendar, and we'll just have a quick conversation. And that 15 minutes is important because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. If it's something that I can't help you with, then we can determine that at that particular time. If it's something that I believe I can help you with, and you agree that my methodology or my ideas could help you get you where you want to be, we'll book a longer meeting where we'll dive in deeper on the challenge, digging around to find out what is exactly the cause of the problem, and then I'll talk about some of the solutions, and if we agree, we'll talk about working together at that particular time. Thanks again for listening. Remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that stuff. I don't really pay that much attention to it, but apparently it's the thing you need to ask people to do. So please do all of that. Come back often. I'm posting these videos, as many as I possibly can, and all on subjects related to maximizing the potential of your business and creating something that you can be not just proud of, but something that really is quite extraordinary. So thanks again for listening. Go to lauriemcnaughton.com. Book your 15-minute discovery meeting right now.